There's a lot of things that I went through, especially in the first 2 years of being married, that I wish I had a heads up about. So today I want to discuss some of those problems, issues, and things that I dealt with that could probably help you in your journey. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Guys, have you subscribed? Like seriously, you're watching me there and you ain't subscribed yet? Please, it's just a click. It's just boop, boop. That's all you gotta do. So subscribe, like, and comment down below. So number one, Lois, you can't do everything, and if you need help, ask for help. That you can make your life easier. I strived for perfection so much, I want to do cook, clean, wash. Then I was working, and it's a lot. Guys, taking care of a house, cooking and cleaning, cooking, cleaning, washing, all these things is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So I had to learn early, Lois, ask for help. You have a husband asking for help, and I thank God that my husband has always been super helpful, and he has always been helpful in helping around the house and stuff like that. But I had to learn that early. Ask for help and test and measure. Sometimes, we would have a thing going, but it wasn't working out. So we had to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, this isn't working for me. Let's see how we could recalibrate and find a new solution. For example, trying to cook every day, trying to get up. I remember when Raymond he just started work. I was a newlywed, like just got married a couple weeks into marriage. I had to get up 4 o'clock every morning to make breakfast. Now I know for a lot of the older women, that's your, that's a strike for you, getting up early every morning and making breakfast. But hey, I was never a morning person to begin with, and it was taking a toll on me, and I had to sit with my husband and be like, hey, this is not good for me. How could we do it? And how could this be done in an easier way where you're happy and I'm happy? So we had to be like, okay, well, make my breakfast the night before instead of making breakfast in the morning, because before I was like, hey, I'm a wife, I want to give my husband breakfast hot off the press, hot, like when he's going to work, it's supposed to be hot and fresh. But he was like, Lois, like seriously, you know me, Lois, I would eat fridge food, cook it the night before and I'll carry it to work. So know that you're not superwoman, and yes, you want to make your husband happy, but you want to keep your sanity too as well. So communicate and see what's best for you. So test and measure. Test and measure, and remember, you ain't superwoman. If it's overbearing for you, you cannot handle it, it's too much on your plate, sit with your husband and try to find solutions to make your life as a wife much more easier. Number 2, keep dating each other. You guys, this is a serious thing, and it should be it should be a priority in your relationship, in your marriage. Because before, when you were pursuing each other, it's like, oh my gosh, you always find time for each other, you always do things. But when you start to live together, you see the person every day, sometimes you can start to take the person for granted. You can start to take your relationship for granted. It just becomes like a daily routine in your life. So you have to make date night a priority, or just continue dating each other, continue pursuing each other. Make it a priority, make it a must-have in your relationship. Sometimes you will miss the mark, but when you miss the mark, get back on it as soon as possible, because it's very easy for you to just take everything for granted, take your wife for granted, take your husband for granted, and then the relationship becomes boring and stale, and who wants that? I don't. So number 3, now guys, I'm being honest, right? And again, I'm just being honest. This is something that I didn't know, right? Now, all my life, I was told sex is wrong. Do not have sex. No sex. Don't let no one touch you. Don't let no one kiss you. Don't let no one look at you. Sex is off the table. No sex. To now you get married, you have to have a lot of sex, especially if you have a young husband that is very vibrant and energetic. They like a lot of sex. So from the transition from no sex to a lot of sex. Number 4, guys, you need Jesus in your relationship. Like, seriously, you need the whole Trinity. You need Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And I'm not saying that in a joke. It's like really serious. You need the Holy Spirit to navigate your relationship, to convict you, to help you, to remind you of certain things. So you really, Jesus Christ really, God really have to be the center of your relationship, of your marriage. A lot of times, if Raymond and I, we are not on good terms, the first thing we have to do is check the root cause. How is our relationship with God? How is our relationship with God in our marriage going? And so most of the time, if not all the time, that does always be the root cause in our relationship. How is our relationship with God going? So you need Jesus in your relationship to make it work. Ministry begins at home and not on the altar. We had to learn this very early. And not only ministry begins at home, but my marriage is it's God, my family, which is my husband, and then ministry. Sometimes we think that ministry and love for God is the same thing, but it's not the same thing. And ministry begins at home, right? You cannot be quarreling and then you want to go and do worship. It don't work. Everything is connected. If you have unforgiveness in your heart, if you're not speaking to your spouse, guess what? God is not going to hear your prayer. He's not going to answer your prayer. So guess what? You have to make sure that you're always in right standing with your wife. If things are bothering you, sort it all out, because ministry, it begins at home. Number 6, don't stop researching and educating yourself. Still read books on marriage. Still read things that is going to help you and your marriage. Don't stop educating yourself. Read books, listen audiobooks, listen podcasts. I mean, there's so much books that you can read on marriage, on sex. Don't stop educating yourself on sex too as well. You know, there's so many resources out there, and just don't say, okay, well, I'm married now, so no. Educate yourself. There's so many things that you can get on YouTube to listen to that is going to benefit you and your relationship. So don't stop educating yourself. Research, especially on sex. There's a lot of books out there. There's a lot of podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube things that you can look at. Sometimes what I would do, if I read something, or if I listen something, I will tell Raymond, I say, Raymond, I learned this today, you know, let's see how we can implement it on whatever it is. But continue educating yourself. Number 7, learn your spouse love language. Know what's your love language and know what is your spouse love language. Know how you communicate love and how you feel love. There are 5 love language: words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, receiving of gifts, and physical touch. Know what's your love language and know what's your spouse love language, so you would be able to meet his needs sufficiently, to fill his love tank efficiently, and your love tank will be filled. And there is a quiz that you can do. You can just type up love language quiz, and you can do that quiz with your spouse and see what's your love language, so you'll be able to best cater to them. Number 8, marriage is for a lifetime. because it takes a lifetime to get to know someone. And this is something that I have learned. I thought that I knew my husband very well because we dated for about 7 years before we got married, and that's a long time that we were courting for. So I thought that when we got married, oh well, I knew him. But there's always things that will pop up. There always, you never stop learning someone. There are a lot of things that I don't even know about myself as yet. So know that this thing called marriage, there's a lot of things. People change. What I liked when my husband met me, some of the things that I liked then, I don't like now. So people change, and nothing is wrong with change. It's embracing change and growing together. So know that people change, and you learn new things about each other. Number 9, the transition from being single to married could be an easy one. I thought that it was going to be so difficult and so hard. A lot of people told me it's hard. A lot of people told me that the first year of marriage is very difficult, and it was not for me. So my experience may not be your experience. My journey may not be your journey. So for me, a lot of people told me, Lois, the first year is always the hard year, and it gets difficult, and once you go through that first year, you can conquer anything else. But in my reality, the first year was the easiest year. It was the easiest year of our relationship. For a matter of fact, the hardest year of our relationships thus far was when we had a baby. That was more difficult than me being a newlywed for a year. So everyone's journey, everyone's experience is different. So be careful. Yes, take information, take knowledge, take in people's experiences, but don't make it yours, because you are totally different. Your relationship is different, as well as don't compare yourself to other people. Once you water your grass, it will be green. So don't compare your journey, your marriage to others. It's totally different. It's unique to you. So make it your own. And last but not least, communicate. So this is something that I had to learn, and I had to learn early, because I had a reality check. Lois, it's not like before when your husband does something that you do not agree with, you call him and you say, here what? We done. I'm breaking up with you. Now you are married. You can't say you're breaking up with him and you want a break. When you get the break, where you're going? That was a reality check for me. Where you're going after you get this break? It's serious. So I had to learn, if something is bothering me, in a peaceful manner and in a humble manner, led by the Holy Spirit, talk to my husband and say, babe, this what you did is affecting me and it's bothering me. So instead of, I am the type of person, I would just keep everything inside. It's bothering me. You ask me, Lois, what's wrong? Nothing. Lois is sure? Yeah, nothing. But it's firing me up in the inside. So I had to learn, Lois, you need to communicate. It's not like before when you guys were courting. It's different now. You have to communicate. You're stuck with this man for a lifetime. So guess what? You better start to sort out yourself. So I had to communicate with him what was bothering me. And not just communicating, but communicate on different aspects. Talk about your finances. Have date nights where you just talk about your finances. Talk about sex. Talk about different things. Communicate. How your spouse is not a mind reader. That's something that I had to learn. Raymond is not a mind reader. He cannot read my mind. So if something is bothering me, I need to tell him, Raymond, this is bothering me. Could you change this? Could you add this? Could you do this? I like when you do this. So just communicate, because your spouse is not a mind reader. So thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I hope it was beneficial and educational to you, and that you learned something on this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and hey, I am on Instagram at Lois Raymond. You can follow me there. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Bye.